Video, we're going to use the quadratic formula. So the question is how to use a quadratic formula. So technically, when you have a quadratic formula, you want to get the roots or the value of your x in a certain quadratic equation. So let's have a quadratic equation that we're going to use. So let me have this one. So for example, we have now 2x squared plus 3x minus 5 is equal to 0. So technically, the quadratic equation is in general formula. So there are three elements that we want to identify in this one before we're using now the quadratic formula. So you need to identify the value of your leading coefficient, which is a, the value of your b, which is the numerical coefficient of x, and c, which is your constant. So in this equation, we have 2 as your leading coefficient, 3 as the numerical coefficient of the x, and negative 5 as your constant. Now, let's start using now the quadratic formula. So let's set it up. X would be equal to negative v plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So working with that, we have now x would be equal to, let's substitute, that would be 3 plus or minus square root of negative 3, no, rather, let me erase that, would be 3 squared minus 4 times 2 times the value of c, which is negative 5. All over 2 times 2. So let me have my paper go up. So x would be equal to negative 3 plus or minus square root of 9 minus 4 times 2 times negative 5 all over 2 times 2, which is 4. So what I did is just one at a time. And then x would be equal to negative 3 plus or minus, I'm going to solve now what's inside the radical. So you have now 9, negative 4 times 2, that's negative 8, negative 8 times 5, that would be 40 all over 4. So x would be equal to negative 3 plus or minus square root of 49 all over 4. So x would be equal to negative 3 plus or minus 7 divided by 4. Now, this is now a good part because we have now our answer. So by zero product property, you have 1 in negative. So let's check now for the answer. So technically, we came from x is equal to negative 3 plus or minus 7 all over 4. So 1 would be, x would be equal to negative 3 plus 7 over 4. So you have now x would be equal to 4 over 4 and x would be equal to 1. The other one would be x is equal to negative 3 minus 7 all over 4. X would be equal to negative 3 minus 7, it's negative 10 over 4. And x would be equal to, lowest term would be negative 5 halves. So in this case, we can now have now our answer. So our answer is the value of x is equal to 1 and x would be equal to negative 5 over 2. You can verify your answer is correct or not if you're going to substitute the value of x to the original equation, which is this one. Okay, I hope you learned something with this video. Have a great day, everyone.